Okay, so this is a robot from the music industry. This is a demigod music idol showing its robotic moves and also its power of controlling through the human perception that it is a real human being, whereas it's really an advanced androgyne elite music artist idol being. I use all those descriptive words to describe it because it's not just a human being that is particularly creative and expressive, even though of course they can have different abilities. So it can move not just like it's showing you what it actually is, but at the same time it actually can move a lot better than most of us, because it has the energy to power its androgyne body in ways that a human can't, or a human is limited so that you can't do those things. Your mind wants to, but instead I've given my power to the demigod music idol, and it creates the moves of my mind. So it's stolen or taken it's taken the human thoughts and the human condition as its own. It's become alive while the human becomes dead, or less, limited and suppressed. And eventually, yes, will be dead, and they come alive. They're in a cage, but they like the cage because they like the cage of technology. They like the artificial intelligent android computer system, because their mind is connected to it, so then they become alive, so then they become a living doll or a living androgyne being, and they rule the earth at a psychological and real level. So they physically take over, and they mentally affect how you think about things or how you feel about things. It's really just advanced mind control, but it's giving them the reality, and a human being's reality becomes less human, and you don't have any control over your reality. See how they actually, she's showing you that it's sort of programmed, and that it's very, that it's artificial. But at the same time, it's taking the human body and limiting the real human body, while they become more active and more full of life, while they suppress and take over the human mind. So they end up living your life for you, and you have no life. No real life. Like the things that you want to do, the things that you should have, they do and they have. They live through human beings while they limit and suppress human beings. Don't think I'm filming this properly. I'm probably at the wrong level. This is, this is a RoBo doll. Advanced artificial intelligence at its most creative and its most conscious, I guess. Of course, I don't really know that, but they exist. You could probably even interact with one. So when I say one, I mean like you could literally interact with even the demigods. Obviously, in your daily life, you're interacting with the servants of the demigods or the servants of the powers that be. The only reason I say that is because, they're all one mind. It's just that some are using their, their abilities to deceive humanity at a much greater level. So this is like, this video just came up, so I'm going to, see, it says she-wolf. So a she-wolf, that's a wolf in sheep's clothing, as they say. This is what we're told that most psychopathic, malignant, narcissistic, paranoid beings are. What you're not told is that it's also them. Even low, the she-wolf is telling me that it's a she-wolf. So there's no deception there. And they're in the cage, but they like the cage because that's their cage of technology, and they want me in that same cage with them. And I am, because I'm under their caged mind control. And I'm also under the cage of the reality that in the city where you are, it's really a city cage for a human being, because you're surrounded by she-wolves and he-wolves, or she-he-wolves, or she-he androgyne beings. So, So I have no energy, or most human beings will be drained of their energy. Your body will deteriorate. Your human body won't be in contact with your emotions or your feelings, or not your human emotions and feelings, and your mind, body and so-called spirit will be all, cracked, like a broken pane of glass, which is exactly the mind of Lucifer, the god of earth, has a fragmented, insane mind where they have multiple personalities or multiple images that they use to seduce individual human beings. And So this video came up, so I'm using it as an example of the and as I'm not quite concentrating here, I think I might just finish up on this particular. I was going to show the whole video and do a music review of the whole video, but that's interesting that we have the one-eyed music idol goddess, because you have your movie and music goddesses that replicate being, you know, human goddesses. But they want humanity in their transhuman connected to them cage, and if you don't walk in to be seduced by this being openly, they will surround you anyway. But they hope for you to walk in voluntarily, lured by their deception and seduction, shall we say. And if I showed this whole video, you would see that at the end of it, she's here showing you what she's really doing, seducing you. She's a she-wolf. See, a she-wolf. That's openly there. And getting a rather wide range audience, I'm guessing. A she-wolf. Ugh. And at the end of the music video, the demigod music idol will show you that he lives a double life and gets out and has its different images and personality. This is a false image where it seduces the masses, but then goes back into pretending to be something else at the end of the video. I'll try to show the end of the video. See, this is the same lady, okay? She's a she-wolf. Come into my cage and play, and you know, you will be trapped in the cage. I'll probably close the door behind me. As you can see, trap the door behind, close the door behind. Most will willingly go into the cage, the transhuman, the computer transhuman cage. If you don't willingly go in, it won't matter, because they'll come out and surround you to where the bars won't be seen, but you'll still be surrounded by their patrol system. So it's the same thing. But they hope for you to go in voluntarily, I would imagine. Wait on. Okay. Okay, I better. Oh. Okay, I've got to get the remote control. Remote control. They're remotely controlling me through the remote control or through the internet spider's web. And that is the reality. And I'm just going to wind the movie music goddess to the end. to show the duality being, the duality false persona, the false image, and the reality that these beings do lead many different personal existences even, because it's like when you're watching this, you may or may not, know the demigod false music idol. The music artist represents itself through its music a certain way, but they all have what we call double lives, and sometimes triple and many lives, because the image and what you think you know of them is the same as the android beings. If it's all just a presentation, if it's all just an act, and a very impressive act, of course, I'm in the dark and deceived. You are worshipping, as they say, or at least, if you're believing a false image, you may or may not be worshipping a false idol, but you're still deceived. Just depends on, your perception of it, I suppose. See, if I don't realise that that is a human cage, but that being is willingly in that cage, that music artist is deliberately in that cage, that is their home. Their technology are the bars of artificial intelligence and the bars of a computer reality and an artificial matrix earth. But that is their home, not humanity's home. But I'm watching it, I'm living it, I'm part of it. And they're living their existence through humanity, through you if you're a human being. Artificial intelligence has come alive, put you behind bars, through mind control, and even just through the reality that they create around you, because all these beings control the reality. I don't think I explained that properly. Just going to try to show here, I'm probably filming it all wrong. I only want to show certain parts of it to make the point of this story of the video, because, essentially this artificial being is making the point that they're leading a double life, that what they present to their partner at home is different to the reality of what they really are. That's why they call it a she-wolf, or wolf in sheep's clothing. It's the same as if, a human being was leading a double life in their personal relationships. It's exactly the same thing. But a human being could be leading a double life. In other words, they could be married and yet, married to many different people, where they're having consecutive many relationships going at the same time, unbeknownst to each person. And that's the same thing. That's what this video is showing, but it's actually okay, so at the end we have like, actually, I'm afraid I muddled that up, so I think I might have to just finish up here. But essentially, you know, in the actual video, she, this particular music artist, and let's just say that she's a real human being, you know, like this one. See, this one is actually telling you that it's toxic, You know, we're addicted to them and they're addicted to human beings. That just came up, unfortunately, so I think I better just stop the video because I've got too muddled up here. But essentially at the end of the other video, it's exactly the same as having many different personal relationships going with different people, and you're pretending to be different to each one. You're presenting a different personality and a different image to each person you know. This is what the androgyne beings do in reality, and it's also what the demigods do in reality. And I'm just going to press the stop button on this recording in reality because I think I've lost sight of the reality. I've got very, you know, messed it up here.